What have you done? I know, I'm turning. Andy, relax. I'm turning around. So we don't have like we Parto?
Sa. Ladies and gentlemen, signore e signori, meine Damen und Herren, welcome to the European Nations Cup. The first match today is Denmark against Italy. Let me introduce you the referees. The center referee, Nico Balen. The assistant referee 1, Clément Bertolou. Assistant referee 2, Nordin Sabovitz. The fourth official, Rémi Simon. And the teams for Denmark, the captain with number 10, Kasper Volkjer Petersen. With number 1, Michael Jensen. With number 7, Mark Kornerup Sorensen. With number 8, Torbjørn Karup. With number 9, Fazad Nabazada. With number 11, Albin Fongsen. With number 23, Tristan Faravola. Number 27, Carla Jot Neyman. And the head coach, Henrik Rasmussen. And his assistant, Simon V. Benjamin Rosenström. And the team manager, Pernille Sorensen. And the Italian team, the captain with number 10, Simone Ranzato. With number 3, Gabriele Torcutti. Number 7, Gabriel Mindru. Number 8, Gabriele Zoggia. 11, Youssef Ali. 13, Giovanni Bernabé Capra. 16, Emiliano Bertoluzzi. 18, Irene Infantino. The head coach, Marco Ferrazza. And his assistants, Carlo Impera, Michele Cicciarelli, Marco Rossellini, and the team manager, Fabio Rodo. And now, the national anthems. And now let me head over to the guys at the streaming. Have fun!
Hello everyone and a very warm welcome wherever you're watching around the world. We are live here in Lignano Sabbiadoro, Italy at the Bella Italia Sports Village for the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup, the pinnacle of European power chair football. My name is Ryan Sipple. It's a real privilege to be your commentator for this prestigious competition. Alongside me for the action is someone who knows this tournament inside and out. In fact, he was right at the heart of the last edition back in 2019, helping guide England to the European title in Finland, a champion on the court and now bringing his insight off it. I'm delighted to be joined throughout the week by Mr. Greg Baxter. Greg, how are you? We are really thrilled.
We sort out that technical issue. Just want to set the scene. Incredible work has gone into making this competition a host here in Italy.
Paralympic Power Chair Sport have done a remarkable job, from the professionalism of the organisation to the quality of the facilities. They've created the perfect stage for Europe's very best players to showcase their talents. The setup here in Lignano is second to none, and you can already feel the sense of excitement that comes with hosting an event of this magnitude. This is the third iteration of the EPFA Nations Cup. The story began in 2014 in Limerick, Ireland, where France were crowned the inaugural European champions. 5 years later, in 2019, Finland played host and England lifted the trophy after a thrilling campaign. And now in 2025, the baton passes to Italy, a nation making its debut at a major international competition and doing so as hosts on home soil. The question is, what will the story of this tournament be? Will it be repeat for England, the reigning champions? Will it be revenge for France? Or could we witness the emergence of a brand new powerhouse in European power chair football?
What we do know is that over the next 6 days of competition, 10 nations will go head-to-head, chasing not only continental glory, but also qualification for the 2026 FIFA Power Chair Football World Cup in Buenos Aires, Argentina, with 5 tickets available. The teams are positioned and we are ready to go for the opening game. Denmark versus Italy in Group B. Group B is also comprised of the likes of Ireland, Scotland and holders England, as Nico Ballin gets the thumbs up from the two goalkeepers. And we are officially underway via Torbjorn Kroop down to Giovanni Bernabé Capra, who a lot of people are excited to see. Many will know his talents in the communication space, commentary and others. But here he lines up for Italy in their first international competition.
Simone Ranzato, the number 10 and captain, has possession in the centre. Torbjorn Kroop down the line, but out of play. So Simone Ranzato. He has Gabriel Mindru, rolls all the way up the court. Nice to get a bit of territory in the Danish half. Denmark, a real powerhouse, certainly on the European stage. They finished 5th in the 2023 FIFA Power Chair Football World Cup, seeing off hosts at the time Australia 3-0 in the 5th place playoff. Simone Ranzato fires it goal bound! There is nothing they could have done. Confusion in the back line. And minutes into this, Italy make history.
Wow. Hello. What a way to come into a game here for me. Crikey. What a shot that is. from the Italian skipper. What a way to start a tournament when you're hosting. Incredible, absolutely incredible. That'll just cheer these raucous home fans on.
Before we could even really preview the players to watch, the form and the momentum that these nations bring into this competition, Italy take the lead. I think it's a fair assessment to say that they would have been underdogs going into this. Denmark have been there, competed at the highest of level within the sport of power chair football. And straight after that opener from Simone Ranzato, they have a corner to double their lead. Simone Ranzato, Gabriel Mindru, just wide of the right-hand post.
Oh my word. Italians have come out like stallions in this first half. The opening 2.5 minutes, they could easily be 2-0 up. What a start they have made. They are here to show what Italian power chair football can do. Contact there between Peterson and Ranzato. The two skippers. Ranzato adjudged to have reversed into his opposite skipper there. Will be a free kick to Denmark, who just need to take a minute to breathe.
We first saw Italy on the international stage at the EPFA Cup 2022, where they finished 5th. Importantly, the 4 teams that finished above them in that competition, being Belgium, Scotland, Spain and Germany, are all here at the Nations Cup. That experience has clearly grounded their foundation on the top table of elite power chair football. They'll be tested here for the first time. Kasper Volker Petersen has options in the box. Torbjorn Kroop, the closest option. Mark Kronop Sorensen, marked closely by Bernabe Capra, just fired very squarely off the front of Kroop's bumper. Potential break on for Bernabe Capra. Gabriele Mindru supporting, but shielded into the box. Simone Ranzato trying that 180, very much the right idea, but doesn't quite make contact.
It's brilliant play by Giovanni Bernabe Capra there. Drives the ball up the court, relaxes when he gets into the box, finds a beautiful flick back to his captain in the middle. Just couldn't quite make contact. What a breathless opening 5 minutes we have had here to the action in Lingnano Sabbiadoro.
Into the box, off of Gabriele Mindru. Second effort, ricochet so nearly over the line. Simone Ranzato had to be aware. Just hugs that left-hand post. The goalkeeper, number 16, Emiliano Bortoluzzi, yet to have any real involvement, but will no doubt be tested here. You can probably hear the incredible support of the Italians. Kasper Volker Petersen, very poor ball in the centre that Torbjorn Kroop can't do a great deal with. The right intent from Bernabe Capra, but doesn't have the power to really trouble the Danish defence.
Denmark look really rattled here. Look really rattled by the atmosphere and the really fast start that the Italians have made. Their fans tried to make some noise to get behind them. Looks like it's going to be a very audacious attempt here to try and get it to the back post to Mindru from Giovanni Bernabe Capra.
Into Ranzato, over to Gabriel Mindru. That is a fantastic goal. They are carving Denmark open. 6.5 minutes in, Denmark 0, Italy 1. It's Italy 2.
Wow, Wow. You thought, as I did, that too far out to get it all the way across to Mindru seems telegraphed. The power from Giovanni Bernabé Capra, just incredible there. I highlighted him before the game. Many people excited to see what he could do in this tournament. It's a brilliant ball. The finish from Mindru is clinical. Right into that corner, and they're on the attack again here. Mindru, his effort straight at Jensen.
Yeah, Bernabé Capra was making ground on that wing, but 7 minutes in, very little this Denmark team can do to nullify what is proving to be a potent attack of the Italians. Across the last few days, teams have had some informal behind closed doors friendlies, and a lot of people have been impressed with the hosts. But there's no question this is a huge step up on what they've experienced before. And a remarkable scoreline when you think of the relative experience and how Denmark definitely wanted to come into this with the non-negotiable objective of securing one of those 5 tickets to Argentina. This truly does blow Group B wide open as Torbjørn Krop dispossesses Ranzato. Doesn't get as far as Emiliano Bortoluzzi because Gabriele Mindru. It's a very fluid system that Italy are adopting. Gabriele Mindru covering every inch of this court. Nicely pickpocketed by Torbjørn Krop. Kasper Volker Petersen is on the edge waiting, but forced up the court by Gabriele Mindru. He does brilliantly to win his country the kick in.
I think what we can say is, and with you mentioned the relative disparity in terms of experience at this level, what a shock. No disrespect to Italy, what 2-0 up in 10 minutes against Denmark really is.
Nice pick off from Krop. It's a dangerous move there from Bortoluzzi. Probably the best option. Could have very much just seen Petersen just swiping into that, getting it in the box. They've settled slightly, Denmark, but haven't troubled the defence of Italy. Will we see it here? Kasper Volker Petersen into the box, down to the back post.
You stop for the first water break?
Yeah, worth noting, very hot and humid here in Lignano Sabbiadoro, but the perfect opportunity for Denmark to assess what's happened in that first 10 minutes. Simone Ranzato, with little more than a minute on the clock, fired an effort goal bound, and there was nothing that Mikkel Jensen could do. And then they continued to pressure, and after 7 minutes, the combinations between Simone Ranzato and Giovanni Bernabé Capra put Gabriele Mindru in so much space, unopposed, to just slot home through the Danish defence. A brilliant performance so far.
The Danes will be shell-shocked. They'll have needed that water break just to calm down and say, look, right, this isn't going to be as easy a game as we maybe thought it would be.
As already mentioned, they come into this tournament as the 5th best ranked nation in the world. With that status comes a real level of expectation. They've been a force on the international stage, but at the moment they're struggling to settle into a rhythm. Still a lot of football to be played, it's worth noting, but so impressed with Italy as Simone Ranzato forces it into the Danish box. Mindru's on the edge, Tries to get that swipe back, he does. Over to Giovanni Bernabé Capra, just can't get the contact. Had he done so, it would almost certainly be a third goal. And now that's much better combinations. Kasper Volker Petersen takes it into reverse. But Mindru, as he has done all game thus far, pressures the attacking players. Into the box, Kasper Volker Petersen fired with some real venom into Gabriel Mindru. And again, it's just a together performance from Italy. They're so well organised.
This just typifies Italy, this performance so far. They're together. You saw the passion with which they sang their national anthem before the game. A highlight that I was really looking forward to before this tournament started. Sorensen brings this ball into the corner. Not had the best start. The Danish number 7, I think, could have scored really just before the water break. Should have done a lot better with the effort he had.
It's a fascinating setup from Italy. Like, beyond Emiliano Butaluzzi as the designated goalkeeper, the three outfielder players just seem to be so fluid. They're not rooted to any one position. And that unpredictability is really troubling Denmark.
I think credit has to go to the Italian coaching setup with Marco Ferrazza, former captain, stepping down and sort of retiring, taking on the mantle of head coach of his national team. And so far, it's a coaching masterclass in its opening 14 minutes or so. A lot of football still to be played, as you say so.
Completely agree. I had the pleasure of commentating that ETFA Cup 2022, their international tournament, on their debut at that level, and Marco Ferrazza was absolutely central to their performances on the court. So there was question marks as to how they would adapt to life without him being the captain. The mainstays as Giovanni Bernabé Capra. Not quite sure what his intent was. If it was to get it to Gabriele Mindru, it's a nice option, but Mindru needs to be in reverse there. Don't lose that second or two momentum to catch up to the ball. But again, it wasn't a short purple patch for Italy. They're far the better side after 14 and a half minutes. Michael Jensen immediately dispossessed by Simone Ranzato across the box. That's good defensive work from Torbjorn Krop, but Giovanni Bernabé Capra nearly squeezes it through. 2-on-1 awarded against Italy, but they just don't have an answer to this attack, Greg.
They are defensively all over the shop. They're all over the place, Denmark, defensively. You really need to think about your placement of passes. You can't just hit it about wherever you like. They've got to be careful. Their aim at the minute would be, with 5 minutes left in this first half, get in at half time just a 2-0 down, because it could easily be 3 or 4.
Krop met by Simone Ranzato. Just delicately forced. Bernabé Capra has to come back, has to be careful of Petersen's positioning. It's a very good organised performance as Mindru just punches it goal bound. No real threat, but valuable territory in the Danish final third as Krop just forces his way through Ranzato. But the overloads they're achieving in attack, they have to be careful of this potential break. And Bortoluzzi, very brave there, coming out to be that defensive anchor. There is an element of risk associated with the way they're playing, but as of yet, very little I can say to fault it.
Substitution for Denmark. Off goes Torbjorn Kraurup. On comes Albin Vognersen.
Yeah, a tough 16 or so minutes for Kraut. Played his football in the English National League in 24-25 with Liverpool-based Greenbank. As Vognarsson gets his first involvement. Really brave pick-off there from Ranzato. Has to put himself in an element of danger to get possession of that. Definitely think that should go in the favour of Italy. Whether or not a 2-on-1 was awarded. Interestingly, despite and to the strong appeals of the Italian bench, it goes in the favour of Denmark. So Albin Vognarsson has an opportunity at this dead ball. Nice contact into Kasper Volker Petersen. Kronop Sorensen doesn't get a grasp of it, with Bortoluzzi just seeing to shepherd every ball out of the way of danger. And we are just under 2.5 minutes away from the conclusion of this first half.
That's better from a Denmark point of view, though. They put together a couple of nice passes, opened up a shooting opportunity. They need a lot more of that. And what I think I'm intrigued by is Vognarsson really battles with Mindru, and Bortoluzzi wins a corner. It's a tactical change, I think, from we've seen from Sydney, with Petersen playing out on the wing rather than in the middle, as he did in Australia.
The man in question with the ball into the box to Kronop Sorensen. Disappointing there. Had time to really make contact. I don't think it would have resulted in a goal, and that's a testament to the organisation of that Italian defence. But as you've said, Greg, their success has come from them combinations when they get their passing going. But if I had said to you that prior to this game kicking off it would be 2-0 to the hosts at the half-time break, you probably wouldn't have believed me. And that's not because they're not good enough, it's just because they're untested at this top level. It's so impressive to see, and it speaks volumes as to the development going on in Italy. Obviously a very passionate power chair hockey nation. Power chair football's kind of followed after that.
The development is exactly right. It is, even from 2 years ago when we conflicted in Munich, the level from here from then to now is completely different. They are on another level from there. They're playing it together, nice and fluid with their shapes. They're trying to pass and move. They've taken the power chair hockey skills, brought in those power chair football skills now with the passing, because they were very good at dribbling. Yeah. They've added that layer of passing. It's now made them extremely, extremely difficult for the Danes to handle in this first half.
Yeah, we didn't even really mention that a year following that EPFA Cup 2022. They travelled to Munich for an EPFA Four Nations, testing themselves against Austria, Germany and Switzerland. They did impress across that tournament in flashes, but they did finish third in the four-team competition. It's clear in the last 2 years they've developed significantly, injected some fresh players and talent. Bernabe Capra, one of them. As Bortoluzzi, once again really brave, almost a 4-out phase of football. As Ranzato tries to adjust, goes in the favour of Italy. A minute of extra time has just been completed.
Could not have written a better script from an Italian point of view. Your first half of football. As that effort just goes inches past the post, and so nearly got even better for them. As I said, you cannot have asked for a better start from an Italian point of view. First game on home soil. hosting a major competition and you're making your debut at it, and you are 2-0 up at half-time against a team ranked 5th in the world. Incredible stuff, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go into the half-time break. Denmark 0, Italy 2. Simone Ranzato after a minute, followed by a second via Gabriel Mindru. Italy, the more dominant, the more fluent in their passing and attacking play, and that has really troubled Denmark, who just haven't been able to get out of second gear. That change for Krop, for Vognersen, injected a little bit of pace and power in the centre, but still the bravery, the organisation, the tactical fluency of the Italians has been so impressive, and Denmark have a lot to do. 2-0 is a very dominant scoreline anymore, and it's surely 3 points for the hosts in Group B. everyone, and welcome back to the opening game of the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup in Group B, contested between Denmark and host Italy. As you can see on your screens, a commanding 2-0 scoreline for the hosts. Greg, give me your assessments.
It was really fast goal. Flying out of blocks. Got that opening goal from the captain from range. Great strike. Didn't rest on their laurels. They dominated the Danes, who looked really shell-shocked. Looked like there was a bit of an inquest going on at half-time. See what their bounce-back ability is like. They're going to need a real reaction, a real performance here, just to get themselves something to go on for the rest of the tournament.
That they are. The team's unchanged from that finished the first half. So Denmark, Michael Jensen. They have Albin Vognersen. They have Mark Kroner Sorensen. And they have Kasper Volker Petersen, the captain. And the Italians comprise of Emiliano Bertoluzzi, Simone Ranzato, Gabriel Mindru, and the ever-impressive Giovanni Bernabé Capra. As we mentioned in the first half, many will be familiar with Giovanni and his work, but not necessarily how proficient and talented he is as a player.
Is there anything this man can't do? Sing well, speak about 6 languages, commentates extremely well, and now he's an excellent manager footballer as well.
He is. So Simone Ranzato will kick things off here in the second half, straight down the court, gaining more valuable territory. But Denmark just didn't have any ideas to break down this completely unorthodox, unpredictable Italian side. At times they play 4 out, at times they completely rotate their positions. And already they have set the tournament alight. This is the first of 29 games we've got over the next 6 days. And if they follow this same sort of momentum and quality, we are in for a historic week of power chair football. I'm not sure that the real gravitas of this situation, the quality of this venue is translated over the stream, but I have to say, having worked in power chair football for many years, and Greg, you've played for many, many years, this has got to be up there with the absolute best.
Oh, the setup here is first class. It's been the best setup I've been a part of. The access to the beach, you can all hang out. There's no separation of able-bodied and those in wheelchairs. It is just incredible to have everything on just one side within walking distance. Obviously helps. We've been basking in glorious Italian sunshine for the last couple of days. So I'm glad that the tournament is picking up, starting up where the facilities have left the standards.
Yeah, completely agree. You're seeing from the multiple camera angles, the graphics, the interactive signage boards. Anyone that tuned in to that very impressive opening ceremony, the Italians are really trying to mark their presence on the international stage. As Bernabé Capra just tries to get that pick off. Over to Mindru. Over to Kasper Volker Petersen, diagonal. No real angle or purpose. Nice contact, but if there isn't an intended target, it's always going to meet the defensive bumper of one of those Italian players. Volker Petersen. Down to Albin Vognersen. Over to Sorensen. This is better from the Danish side. An unorthodox engagement there from Sorensen. And that nice pick-off interception turns defence into an immediate attack. as was the case in Geneva back in 22 and Munich in 2023. The Italian support is spectacular. Also looking forward to seeing what they had to offer as Giovanni just swipes at that, just stuck to his bumper a little bit longer than he would have wanted. Gabriel Almendru nods his head in approval because he was without question the intended recipient. But once again, Italy so comfortable in possession, and little that Denmark have done has really pressured them. There is options on the bench for Marco Verratti should he wish to utilise them. At the moment, with it being so dominant, I don't suspect he'll be looking to change anytime soon, as there's some nice combinations. Would like to see a little bit more angle on that pass from Simone Ranzato out to Gabriel Almendru. Just a tendency to force it a little bit too much, but they have the flexibility as Simone Ranzato has an audacious effort at goal, just wide of that right-hand post. A sigh of relief from Mikkel Jensen, the Danish goalkeeper.
Denmark just look really flat and like they're just devoid of any ideas. They've moved Peterson, the captain, back into the middle again, as they did have in Australia for the World Cup. But their passing is not there at all. They look like they're forcing the obvious pass. Peterson there just tried to play one across the side, not enough pace on it. Invited the shot from Ranzato, and he's lucky that it didn't find its way just inside that far corner.
Bernabé Capra looking at Simone Ranzato, who he opts to find. Down to Sorensen, just feints beautifully to send Bernabé Capra the wrong way momentarily. Simone Ranzato there to cover defensively. A very optimistic appeal there as Denmark ready their second change. It looks like Torbjørn Krop will be re-entering the action in place of their number 7, Mark Kronop Sorensen.
And moving Sorensen onto the wing. Kraro back in the middle as Ranzato and Capra discuss what they're going to do with this kick in. They've looked really good, Italy. What's really impressed me was how eager they are with the front bumper pickoffs. That is exceptional understanding and awareness of how best to utilise that front bumper.
It's such an undervalued part of the sport. You'll see the top nations in the world really use those front bumper pickoffs to get an edge on their opponent. No real angle from Albin Vognersen. Bernabé Capra does brilliantly well to keep it in play. A little bit aggressive there from the Danish number 11. Direct free kick will resume play, to be taken by Giovanni Bernabé Capra. Simone Ranzato just communicating with Gabriel Almendru on that far side. Bortoluzzi just out of shot, but right high out of his defensive box. Nice feint, intent from Ranzato, but Torbjørn Krop always going to read it. Don't want to become too predictable. I have no doubt that Group B rivals Ireland, Scotland and England will be eagerly watching this one, as they are due to face both nations across the next 4 or 5 days.
Better defensively there from Kraro. The effort was really telegraphed from the Italians, which is what I said before the second goal that Italy scored in that first half. Just got that one wrong, whereas on this occasion he managed to get the better of Ranzato to cut out the danger. Not shown much improvement yet, Denmark, in this second half. They need to find something and find it fast.
Maybe they will here as Krop squeezes it through that gap, and brilliant work from Simone Ranzato. What could have been a very dangerous opportunity, just sees him flick it off the bumper of the Danish number 8 to win his side a goal kick. Approaching the 30-minute mark, where we will observe another water break and another opportunity for Italy to regroup and assess this performance. You said earlier, Greg, it was almost like an inquisition on that Danish bench. Very animated. Some emotions really boiling over. But there is so much on the line here. We can't emphasise that nearly enough. And Denmark, who have been present at the last 5 or 6 major competitions, will want to ensure that they are on the plane to Argentina. But this is a game that they would have very much suspected they would have achieved 3 points from. So back to the drawing boards if Italy are victorious. Corner for Giovanni Bernabé Capra has Simone Ranzato as the closest option into the box, fired straight into the keeper Mikael Jensen. Whistle momentarily in the mouth of Nico Balin, our French central official. As Nico Balin does signal for that water break. The Italians yet to utilise any of their substitutes. They have Gabriele Tocuti, they have Gabriele Zoggia, they have Yusuf Ali, and they have Arini Infantino. And the Danish side have, of course, utilised Kronop Sorensen, but they also have Farzad Nabazada, Tristan Faravola, and Carla Hjort Neumann. You can see the Italians on your screen now. Some smiles. The direct contrast of the Danes. Just look a little bit dejected, Greg.
I've said the word shell-shocked a couple of times during this commentary, and it just sums it up perfectly. They look like they have no answer. They look like they came into this expecting to record an easy win. They've underestimated the Italians, perhaps, and now they are paying the price because they have got nothing going in this game whatsoever. It's been really lacklustre from the Danes. At what point do they throw caution to the wind and start moving the goalkeeper up, perhaps changing who wears that goalkeeper jersey to go and play more attacking? Because at the minute, they're not even putting up a fight against the Italians.
I wanted to almost highlight the performances at the 2023 FIFA Power Chair Football World Cup, because their results perhaps didn't always reflect their brilliant performances. I think against the powerhouses in France, England and USA, they probably was the most competitive. As it's a chance for Wagnerson, a little bit better, but once again the defensive organisation spearheaded by Simone Ranzato ensures any sniff of a Danish attack is nullified, as Bortoluzzi gets a rare touch in this second half, as he has to be careful of his placement. You can see Albin Wagnerson was looking at that near post, and the appeals of Bortoluzzi, who had left the confines of his area. 2-on-1, indirect free kick, arguably the greatest opportunity for Denmark to score or have a real sight at goal. Torbjørn Krop is going to position himself between Bortoluzzi. Goes into Wagnerson and a whisker wide of the left-hand post. Had it been on target, Bortoluzzi would have had more than enough to see it out of danger.
That just sums it up really for Denmark so far. Ifs, buts and maybes. They've put together 1 or 2 good passes, but they've not found the third. They've not had the right finish when they have created the chances. This will be really disappointing for them. It really, unless they mount a last-minute comeback, which at the minute seems unlikely, given how they're playing. This would blow Group B wide open with only one game played.
Nice pass there from Ranzato out to Gabriel Mindru. I don't disagree. Following this one at 8 o'clock, Central European summertime, world champions France take on Northern Ireland. No doubt many people will tune in to see some of the greatest players that have ever graced a power chair football court. Players who will be desperate to regain the title of European champions. And tomorrow a full schedule which we will go through at the conclusion of this game. Torbjorn Kropp. No real direction on it, which is a real shame.
I mean, there was no power, no direction. It was telegraphed. You don't expect this out of a nation as experienced as Denmark.
As per Tony Jackson in the YouTube chat, it is truly a masterclass in defence for the Italians. Obviously the professional running game equivalent. The Italians are synonymous with players like Alessandro Nestra, Maldini, Chiellini and others. They build their foundation on their defence, and the power chair team is no different. We have got less than 5 minutes left of regulation time. If Denmark want to find a way back into this or secure any points, they surely have to score. It's a beautiful pick-off just to guide it out of Kropp's pass, and Volker Petersen just can't get the pace to catch up to it. I have nothing to fault from this Italian performance.
No, neither do I. It's been sensational. They're really just blowing expectations out of the water.
Oh, that's nice play from Volker Petersen. Feinted to engage, which momentarily took Ranzato up the court, but didn't necessarily have the pace or power to give Ragnarsson an option at goal. Bernabé Capra has been so busy. That's the sign of danger, but Bortoluzzi, if and when he has been required, has been so efficient. And that's a chance now, a break, as Mindru's going to come to engage it. Michael Jensen does well. But the more players Denmark commit forward, the more vulnerable their defence. Out for a Danish ball. The Italian support loud, almost like a fifth player. As Volker Petersen back to Torbjorn Kropp, into Bortoluzzi. A very unorthodox engagement from Mindru confuses Torbjorn Kropp, and Petersen's very fortunate there. A nice pass, millimetres away from an Italian bumper.
Just made the wrong decision there, Kropp. It was nice between him and Petersen on the way back, and then he just tried to find the 180 to his captain. He didn't need to, because Ragnarsson was in all sorts of open space on this near side. There's ball there from Ranzato, cut out by Jensen. Ranzato will just watch that roll out of play for an Italian kick in. Will they make a substitution? Off goes number 7. Gabriel Mindru got that second goal for his country. And on comes number 11, Yusuf Ali. Job well done for Mindru. Excellent performance.
Yeah, absolutely echo all of that. Excited to see what Yusuf Ali can do on the international stage. Another almost new recruit for the Italian national team, as Bernabe Capra takes the corner into Simone Ranzato. Across the box, Mikael Jensen clears. Approaching the final minute. I'm going to push you for a player of the match in the final few seconds, so get your thought process going. If you're watching on YouTube, please put it into the chat as well. One thing is for certain, there is so much appreciation for this Italian performance and team as a whole. And I have no doubt the likes of Scotland and Ireland will be alert to the dangers that they have exhibited throughout this game.
They've got the ball right where they want it. The Italians right deep in the Danish half. They've got a 2-goal advantage. Oh, Ranzato chopped inside. Pettersson there. Ranzato back to Ali from bumper. Just took a deflection off Jensen. As Pettersson drives them up the court. Denmark needs something.
Good advantage there from Nico Balin. Could have easily awarded several 2-on-1s, but allowed Denmark the time to force the ball up the court. But as has been the theme across this fixture, that's now in its final 5 seconds, the Italian defence unbreakable.
I mean, if you're Denmark, what do you do? How do you go from here?
Their performances are typically grounded with a strong foundation, and that just hasn't been the case. They've tried to experiment. They deviated from what we know and what we expect. You've spoken about using Kasper Volker Petersen in that central role. They didn't start that way, and they only kind of shifted him into that commanding central position once they were 2-0 down. But the real problem is the lack of opportunities, as Irene Infantino is going to feature late on. There's only a matter of seconds left in this one. But what a performance from Giovanni Bernabe Capra, marking his debut for Italy. Simone Ranzato off the back wheel of Kasper Volker Petersen. Ranzato happy to let that roll out for a second successive kick in. A minute and a half over. Out for a goal kick. Player of the match, please, Greg.
Honourable mention to Giovanni Bernabe Capra, but it has to go to the Italian captain Simone Ranzato. Got that opening goal, got side off to the perfect start, just 90 seconds on the clock, if that, and he has been at the heart of that defensive performance alongside Bortoluzzi. Incredible from the Italian number 10, a number that is synonymous with football. He will be thrilled with the start that they have made.
Absolutely. Frustratingly off the front bumper of Torbjorn Kropp. And just listen to the crowd erupt once Nico Balin blows that full-time whistle. A short break before we're back in action for France, Northern Ireland. The whistle is in the mouth, and Italy are victorious. What a start for the hosts, marking their major tournament debut. They have beaten Denmark 2-0 in a performance built on discipline, organisation and defensive strength. It was a true masterclass. They frustrated Denmark's experienced core, limited their chances and struck clinically through Simone Ranzato and Gabriel Mindru for Denmark. An incredibly tough night. They just had little in way of answers to the questions that Italy were posing, and they had no way past the Azzurri. Tonight belongs to Italy. A debut, a home crowd, a statement win, showing they're not just here to take part, but to compete at the very top level. See what it means to Italy, the smiles on their faces, the joy amongst their squad. This the start of a very demanding week. Tomorrow they face England. That will be the test. And then they have games against Ireland on Sunday, and they have a game against Scotland on Monday. So many positives, so much to take home. Good support there from the Danish, just out of shot, but as you can see, the passion that they exhibit, absolutely fantastic. I echo what you said. Giovanni Bonabe Capra needs an honourable mention, but Simone Ranzato, a player who we spotlighted prior to the tournament taking place as one to watch, has proved that he belongs on this top table.
You just see that togetherness with the fan, the passion that Italy play with.
We are going to pass over to Piero, who has an interview lined up. What a game. Join us later for France versus Northern Ireland.
And here we are. What a match. We are with Giovanni Bernabé Capra. Giovanni, how do you feel about the match today?
I mean, about the match, I kind of feel that it's a satisfaction for us. We know that we have great players in our team, but we know that it's a young team. So the thing is just that being able to confirm what we thought from the beginning of this competition is just what we couldn't hope for more.
That's awesome. Sounds great. Congratulations. What do you think about the other team? How did they play?
Well, I think Denmark played Denmark. So they're a really tough team. They're quite hard to play. The thing is that there are so many players that are really talented, and well, I thought they played well, but luckily we have a good staff. So I'd like to thank all the staff, all the players, all of my teammates that succeed to give us the key to win this game.
Sounds great. Sounds awesome. Congratulations again, and good luck for the next matches.
Thank you.
See you, Giovanni. And now here we are with our captain, Kasper Wölkjer Petersen. Kasper, how do you feel about the match today?
I'm very disappointed right now. It feels like, yes, we were not ready from the start, and they attacked us very well at the first half. I think the second half we did it better, but not enough.
Yeah, it must have felt very nerve-wracking, the first match, but the tournament is very long. So what do you think you guys can improve for the next matches?
I think now we we got this experience, and hopefully we can take that with us for the preparation for the coming games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds great, man. I really wish you all the best. Tournament is still very long, so good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Okay, thanks everyone. I'll see you at the next match.